Hello all, welcome for the lecture of Natural Language Processing. Today we will be discussing about how syntax and semantics are linked. You are already aware of the process of obtaining context independent semantic representation, which is also termed as logical form. Such a representation is desirable to simplify the process of computing semantic structure from syntactic structure. The logical form language uses many concepts of FOPC, that is first order predicate calculus. The concepts which uses out of FOPC for generating logical form are like predicates, preposition, logical operators. The most significant extensions to basic FOPC, which we have discussed in previous video, are related to generalized quantifiers, modal operators, predicate operators. Today we will be discussing method for linking logical forms with syntactic structure. This allows logical form to be computed while parsing. This process is called as semantic interpretation. The assumption often made about semantic interpretation is that it is a compositional process, which means the meaning of the constituent is derived solely from the meaning of its subconstituent. In particular, interpretations can be built incrementally from interpretations of its subphrases. So, semantic analysis follows syntactic analysis in trying to determine what a sentence means. So, aim over here is to use representation of what individual word means and representation of structure of the sentence with respect to parse tree obtained. It ignores context and world knowledge as it is context independent interpretation. In pragmatic analysis, context dependent interpretation is carried out separately, which is second last phase in natural language processing. For example, if we'll take into consideration example, he loves Mary, here he is, who is he, that is none of our business with respect to this particular process. There are many formalisms which have been proposed to represent the meaning of a sentence, one of which we have already studied and commonly used is predicate logic, FOPC form, which is very good part to start with. But predicate logic is not powerful enough to represent all natural language sentences. As we have gone through it, that many times extensions with respect to many things are required to be applied for generating logical form using first order predicate calculus. So, on the one hand, more complex logics have been suggested for generating logical form, and on the other hand, more informal notations have been used. So obviously, determining the meaning of sentence would be much simpler if we can find the meaning of constituent completely solely from the meaning of its subconstituent with respect to its parse representation generated. For example, find the meaning of sentence by combining meaning of the noun phrases with meaning of the verb phrases. The way we do syntax directed translations in compilers, same kind of theory or logic is applied over here for performing semantic analysis. So rule for combining meanings should be independent of how noun phrase or verb phrase meanings were found. So this is referred as compositional semantics. But developing a good compositional model is very difficult because with respect to CFG is referred for parsing the syntax of the sentence given, we need to apply or write syntax directed definitions of every CFG according to the way we need to perform semantic interpretations. But it is not as simple as it looks like. So, what is the reason behind that? Syntactic structure does not always map in any proper way onto semantic structure. For example, if we'll take into consideration this sentence, John loves every dog, then the one way or representations which we would get, or the way we can represent this sentence is this one, that every D, which is considered as dog, loves, that is the process applied by whom the proper noun, J1 variable whose value is John. So love is applied with respect to J1 on D. This is one of the way of generating logical form representation. Whereas unscoped version for the same could be like loves could be the outermost which could be taken, and then two operands could be there for which G1 and D could be passed. But obviously this kind of representation is going to fail with respect to idioms. For example, John kicked the bucket, which means Jack kicked the bucket, which means Jack died, which would not be interpreted the way it should be with respect to its semantic representation. So what would be the another way which could be applied for doing that kind of compositional semantics on the sentence? For example, consider the sentence is John jumps, which would be represented like jumps applied on John. So how do we give a semantic to each word so that they may be combined to give expression above expression, that is jumps in bracket John? A simple answer to this question is it could be represented using lambda expression. Lambda calculus is a powerful language based on simple set of primitives. Formulas in the lambda calculus consist of equality assertions of the form like expression equal to expression. To relate here, consider example jumps equal to lambda x jumps x, that is John. We need to submit as an argument later. So the semantic for jumps is now function with one argument. When this function is applied to an argument with some value, and when we need to substitute that value and then find out the expression, that is called as lambda reduction. So function could be written with one argument or more argument, like lambda x dot f is a function with one argument, whereas lambda x dot f in bracket v is equivalent to f, where v is the value which is to be replaced by x, which is known as the process of lambda reduction. So how same thing would be applied if we want to write lambda function with multiple arguments, two arguments. How that would be written, like lambda x into x plus 1 in bracket 2. So in that case, in place of x, 2 would be substituted, and whatever is computations to be applied, that will get applied. Similarly, lambda x dot function of xy outer bracket then 3 is equal to what does that mean? At the place of x 3 is to be substituted, so that will calculate the function 3y likewise. So same kind of principle could be applied and sentence could be represented in the form of lambda calculus. For example, lambda x loves John x Mary equal to loves John comma Mary. So this is what is the way lambda calculus is used to obtain this kind of representation for the sentence John loves Mary. So we can also have nested lambda expressions with the outermost one applied first, which is written in the last two lines, like lambda x dot lambda y dot function of xy, and value 2 is given for reduction. So 2 will get placed in place of x, and then whatever next value is given as an argument, that would be placed in place of y if reduction is applied to both the variables. So there are two ways to combine syntactic and semantic analysis. First is parse the sentence first, and then use a parse tree to guide how semantic of the word should be combined. And second, do both at the same time so that both tasks will be carried out simultaneously. In short, first way is like, first of all, do parsing with respect to set of CFGs given, then later traverse that parse tree obtained, make use of syntax directed definitions written, and accordingly do the processing, which would be giving you more accurate results. So same thing is explained here with example. Let each word in the lexicon have an associated lambda expression as its semantics. Jumps lambda x dot jumps x Mary John. Now we associate with each grammar rule. Obviously, originally the CFG is going to be S gives NP-VP. Now here syntax directed definitions are applied, which states apply semantics of VP to semantics of noun phrase to get semantic interpretation of the sentence. Similarly, apply semantics of name to noun phrase, then semantics of word to verb phrase. Now to find the semantics of John jumps, we apply lambda x dot jump x to John to get this expression jumps John. To consider another example, if we'll take into consideration sentence John loves Mary, then how the semantic interpretation could be done with respect to SSDs given. Like if we make semantic for loves a little more complex, obviously with two arguments, then the expression would be written like lambda x dot lambda y dot loves by x. So here now syntax directed translation to be applied is with respect to the modified CFGs, like wherein semantic is incorporated into CFGs. S gives NP-VP, apply VP semantics to NP semantics to get semantics of sentence. This is how the syntax directed definition is telling. So same thing is to be applied for semantic interpretation. And what about VP? It states that apply V semantics to N semantics to get verb phrase semantics. So this is how you will be able to apply these semantics for the given sentence. Now semantics for loves Mary is, which is verb phrase. So which states that apply V semantics to N semantics. That is why lambda x dot y loves by x, and then V semantics, that V semantics will be applied to and semantics. That is why the substituted value would be lambda y loves y Mary. Then combining with the VP semantics in the sentence to NP semantics, you would be getting like lambda y loves y Mary, and then another argument passed would be John, which you would be getting afterwards in this NP. That is why you will be getting this representation like loves John Mary. So this is how semantic interpretation is done, and this is how semantics are linked with syntax. I hope you have enjoyed the learning. Thank you.